Welcome to IC Tarot. This is a July reading for Leos. Please bear in mind that it's general, so it's not going to resonate with everyone. Initially, it may look like your energies are quite difficult and you probably will be struggling emotionally with the whole situation a little bit. However, there is one very simple thing that once you have realized it, you will have the answer in your hand and you will not be afraid to move forward. So we start your reading with the Ace of Swords reversed. Then we have the Six of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed. So this is basically either a lie or a hidden truth that caused a disconnection between you and a very significant person for you. So it looks like it might even be a situation where somebody had to lie to protect the other person or to protect themselves. But we'll have a look in a moment. However, it looks like you are coming into July with this energy, and then we have the Three of Coins, Nine of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So this is basically you. So it looks like you may be putting a mask on, and you may be pretending that everything is alright. However, deep inside, you really miss this person, and because there is that Six of Cups card reversed, so you definitely have shared a really strong bond. And you really struggle to cope with that emotionally, and you really are missing this person, which is why we have the Four of Wands in there as well, because you really want them back. And now, whatever the situation was, there might have been either some harsh words used or something happened, but basically the whole energy, it looks like you are not fully aware of what exactly happened. And this is what's causing the confusion. So you might be acting as if everything was alright, maybe not that everything was right, but you are acting as if you were fine with that you are fine with being disconnected with that person. This is the mask you are putting on. However, when you are on your own, you really miss that person and you really want them back. And now there is a fear revolving around that as well, because obviously you're missing them. Probably you have spent a lot of time together, and you don't, it's not that you cannot imagine your life without them, you don't want to live your life without them. But yeah, as mentioned before, there is one very important thing that you need to realize, because at the moment the situation looks like, well, you two are disconnected and neither of you knows what exactly happened. Neither of you can see the bigger picture of the situation. And now we have the Seven of Wands card, the Moon, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. And this is the thing that you need to realize, because at the moment you two are in a position that there's more things that haven't been told than the things that have been told. And to be able to see the whole situation, to understand another person, a conversation has to happen. You need to speak to them, to explain to them your point of view, and you need to let them speak as well, to understand how the situation was looking on their side. Because usually a lie is what's appearing on the surface, and very often people do not even bother thinking about what led to that lie. There's always a deeper root, there's always a cause for the lie. So it might be that energetically something was happening in that person's life that ultimately led them to the lie. Or if you lied, again, it could have been in your life as well, that maybe there were other things happening in the background, and in that given situation, given the circumstances, you had no other choice but to either hide the truth or to lie. And now neither of you understands the whole situation clearly. And now the whole thing is, the thing you need to realize is that you've got nothing to lose. Because if you leave the things as they are at the moment, then obviously you will not reconnect with that person. If you keep wearing the mask and pretending that you are fine with the whole situation, nothing is going to change. However, if you do find the strength and courage to approach them, you give yourself and you give them a chance to reconnect. And now it's never guaranteed that the connection is going to be back. Of course it's not. But at least once you have approached them, and you both have a chance to give your own perspective, and each of you can see the bigger picture. This is when you can really decide whether you can reconnect or not. Without this, 100% you will not connect back to them. So now, because we have the Seven of Wands and the Moon in here, you may be afraid of other people judging you about approaching that person to speak to them, or you might be afraid about the things that you may hear from that person, because it looks like, because the connection is very deep, and you definitely have known this person for a while, so you both have been through certain things together, and like it's almost as if you had a bag of things that haven't been said throughout all that time, and same on their side. So these are all the things that you are afraid to tell them, and also you are afraid to hear the things that they hold in their bag. I hope that makes sense. So those are only your inner fears, yeah? So this is something that's stopping you now. But obviously, having the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, this is what's really needed in this situation. Because as mentioned before, you basically, this is the only thing that can help you reconnect with that person. And I can see from the cards that you really want that to happen. You really miss them. You don't want to live your life without them. But the truth has to be said. And then once this happens, once you meet them, and to be honest with you, I think the best and maybe even the only option here is to meet them eye to eye, not via text, not via emails. Of course it's possible, if it's possible, to speak to them and try not to hide anything. Just tell them everything from your side, and this is going to help you release the energy, the negative energy, and finally tell the truth. And when you do that, of course, when you do it in a loving way, you are going to encourage them to tell you the truth as well, because they will feel safer, they will feel more secure, seeing that you have the courage to say what really is sitting deep in your heart, what really caused the whole situation. Because as mentioned before, there must have been a lot of things happening in the meantime that led to the lie, and then the lie led to the disconnection. So pretty much, in fact, it might be either your own ego or your own fears, because you are afraid to approach them, because of how much they mean to you. But again, if you don't approach them, you've lost them. If you do approach them, you give this connection a chance once again. And then the interesting thing is, let me just zoom out a little bit. From the oracle cards for July for you, what I've got in here, and that's just the most beautiful message that you could receive in this scenario. Because, well, first of all, we've got the perception card. So this is something for you, that for you to understand the situation, to see the full picture, you have to speak to that person. You cannot rely on opinions and comments of other people, because this person is the one that you share the bond with. So you have to hear things from them, not from other people. And once you've done that, you will be able to see, even by looking at their face, whether they are being honest and genuine or not. And once they've told you how the situation looked like on their side, this will help you to change your perception about the situation. Because maybe if you knew everything that has been happening in their life, you wouldn't react in a certain way to that lie. So now, even if you start regretting, like this obviously, in a situation like that, the whole mixture of emotions comes up, yeah. So this is something that everybody has to cope with. You just have to be prepared for that. You just have to be prepared for a lot of different emotions bubbling to the surface. But in fact, this is something for you to be able to see the whole picture, and to be able to kind of get the final answer, whether this person is going to be back in your life or not. So perception is a very, very important thing in July for you, and you will not be able to see the whole situation as it was, unless you speak to this person directly. And then from the other oracle deck, which is called The Answer is Simple. We have the You Are Safe card, which is just a confirmation for you that even though you fear approaching them, you are scared of their reaction, you don't know what the result is going to be, you are safe, your guides are with you, the universe is supporting you. Maybe you two needed that situation. For the bond, once you reconnect, if that happens, then the bond is going to be completely unbreakable. But this can only happen if you two are honest with each other, and if you two tell everything to each other, the whole truth. And this is when you start from scratch. This is when you start anew. If you two this, because obviously everybody's got their free will. So you still have to understand that if they decide that they don't want to reconnect with you, you have to respect that. And same on their side, they will have to respect your decision if you decide that you don't want to reconnect. But I don't think that would be the case looking at the cards that we've got for you, because you really want them back. But whatever happens, the most important things here are just to speak with love, speak genuinely, be honest, and be respectful of each other, because the bond was there, the bond might be back, the connection might be back, but all these things are necessary for this to happen. And again, because this seems to be a very important person for you, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth fighting your own fears. I think it's worth finding the courage to approach them. And as mentioned before, you are safe, so you are fine in doing that. You just need to understand that. So there's nothing to lose. You can only gain by this. Alright, this would be it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it helped at least some of you. Have a great month regardless of what happens. And yeah, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.